Hello, future medical professionals. Welcome to an exciting session on excretory products and their elimination. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating, yet sometimes challenging, world of disorders related to our excretory system. Understanding these conditions is crucial for your NEET preparation and future medical career. We'll explore this topic across 4 levels: easy, medium, hard, and hardest, ensuring you grasp every concept comprehensively. Let's begin this insightful journey. Ready to uncover the basics of what can go wrong with our body's waste disposal system? Let's start with some common issues. Our kidneys, vital for filtering waste, can sometimes develop problems. One common issue is renal calculi, also known as kidney stones. These are hard masses formed by the crystallization of salts like oxalates or uric acid within the kidney or urinary tract. They occur when your urine becomes too concentrated, causing these salts to clump together. The main symptom is often severe pain, known as renal colic, and sometimes blood in the urine. For instance, calcium oxalate stones are the most frequently encountered type. Understanding their formation is key to prevention. Another significant disorder is glomerulonephritis, which means inflammation of the glomeruli. These are the tiny, intricate filtering units within your kidneys. This inflammation is often triggered by immune reactions, perhaps after an infection like strep throat, or due to autoimmune conditions. When glomeruli are damaged, their ability to filter waste and excess fluids from your blood is severely compromised. Symptoms can include swelling, high blood pressure, and the presence of blood and protein in your urine. Finally, we have kidney failure, also known as renal failure. This is when the kidneys lose their ability to filter waste products effectively. It can be sudden, called acute kidney injury, or gradual, known as chronic kidney disease. This leads to a dangerous buildup of toxic waste in the body, a condition called uremia, which often requires dialysis or a kidney transplant to manage. Now, let's test your understanding with a few quick questions. Take a moment to think about the concepts we just discussed regarding kidney stones, glomerulonephritis, and kidney failure. Choose the best answer for each question. Let's deepen our understanding of these excretory disorders. We'll explore the types, causes, and treatments in more detail. Delving deeper into renal calculi, we find that kidney stones aren't all the same. They vary in composition, with calcium oxalate stones being the most common, followed by uric acid, struvite, and rare cystine stones. Each type has distinct formation factors, from dehydration and specific diets to underlying medical conditions. Symptoms are typically intense, fluctuating pain known as renal colic, along with blood in the urine and nausea. Treatment options range from allowing small stones to pass naturally to using extracorporeal shock wave lithotripsy, or ESWL, to break larger stones, or even surgical removal for more stubborn cases. Next, glomerulonephritis involves inflammation and damage to the glomerular capillaries, significantly impairing their filtration function and reducing the glomerular filtration rate, or GFR. The causes are diverse, including post-streptococcal infections, systemic autoimmune diseases like lupus nephritis, and IgA nephropathy. Clinically, patients might experience hematuria, proteinuria causing foamy urine, edema, and hypertension. Diagnosis often involves urinalysis, blood tests, and a kidney biopsy for definitive classification. Moving on to renal failure, it's crucial to distinguish between acute kidney injury, or AKI, which is a sudden, often reversible loss of function, and chronic kidney disease, or CKD, a progressive and irreversible decline over time, frequently caused by diabetes or hypertension. When CKD reaches its final stage, it leads to uremia, a syndrome of widespread symptoms due to waste accumulation, necessitating renal replacement therapy. When kidneys fail, renal replacement therapy, or RRT, becomes essential. Dialysis is a procedure that artificially removes waste and excess fluid from the blood. Hemodialysis involves filtering blood outside the body using an artificial kidney machine, typically done several times a week. Peritoneal dialysis, on the other hand, uses the patient's own peritoneal lining as a natural filter, allowing for treatment at home. The most definitive treatment for end-stage renal disease is a kidney transplant, which involves surgically implanting a healthy donor kidney. While it offers a better quality of life, it requires lifelong immunosuppression to prevent organ rejection. Each therapy has its own set of procedures, benefits, and challenges. Time to tackle some medium-level questions. These will require a slightly deeper understanding of the causes, classifications, and treatments of excretory disorders. Read each question carefully and select the most appropriate answer. Alright, let's elevate our understanding. We are about to delve into the intricate mechanisms and systemic impacts of excretory disorders. The formation of renal calculi involves a complex process starting with supersaturation of urine, where stone-forming salts exceed their solubility. This leads to crystal nucleation, growth, and aggregation, influenced by urinary pH and the balance of inhibitors like citrate versus promoters such as hypercalcia. Calcium stones are the most common, often linked to hypercalcia or hyperoxalia. Uric acid stones typically form in acidic urine, common in gout patients. Struvite stones are associated with chronic UTIs caused by urea-splitting bacteria, while rare cystine stones result from a genetic defect in amino acid reabsorption. Diagnosis relies on advanced imaging like CT scans and detailed stone analysis. Moving to glomerulonephritis, many forms are immune-mediated, involving antibodies directly targeting glomerular components or immune complex deposition. Histopathological classification via kidney biopsy is crucial, categorizing conditions into proliferative or non-proliferative types, which guide specific treatments. These can present as either nephritic syndrome, characterized by inflammation, hematuria, and hypertension, or nephrotic syndrome, marked by massive proteinuria and severe edema. End-stage renal disease, or ESRD, represents the irreversible final stage of chronic kidney disease, where GFR drops below 15 ml min. It's predominantly caused by diabetes and hypertension. ESRD leads to a cascade of systemic complications due to uremia, including cardiovascular issues like hypertension and heart failure, hematological problems like anemia due to erythropoietin deficiency, and skeletal issues like renal osteodystrophy from impaired vitamin D metabolism. Neurological and endocrine dysfunctions are also common. Management involves aggressive control of underlying diseases, strict dietary restrictions, and ultimately, renal replacement therapy. Renal replacement therapies, or RRTs, include hemodialysis, which uses an artificial dialyzer and vascular access for efficient waste and fluid removal, and peritoneal dialysis, which utilizes the patient's own peritoneum as a filter. Kidney transplantation offers the best quality of life but demands careful donor matching and lifelong immunosuppression to prevent rejection, balancing the benefits against risks like infection and malignancy. Hemodialysis effectively removes wastes through diffusion and ultrafiltration across an artificial membrane, requiring stable vascular access. Peritoneal dialysis uses the peritoneum as a natural semipermeable membrane, with glucose in the dialysate creating an osmotic gradient for fluid removal, offering flexibility for home treatment. Kidney transplantation, while life-changing, is fraught with immunological challenges. Rejection, categorized as hyperacute, acute, or chronic, stems from the recipient's immune system attacking donor HLA antigens. Hyperacute rejection is immediate due to preformed antibodies, while acute rejection is T-cell mediated and treatable. Chronic rejection is a gradual, multifactorial process. Lifelong immunosuppressive regimens, including calcineurin inhibitors and antiproliferative agents, are vital to prevent rejection but carry risks like increased susceptibility to infections and malignancies, highlighting the delicate balance required for long-term graft survival. Now, Let's challenge your understanding with some hard-level questions. These questions require critical thinking, analysis, and the ability to connect different concepts within excretory disorders. Take your time to evaluate each option carefully before arriving at your answer. All right, future experts. Prepare to dive into the most advanced aspects of excretory disorders. We are going beyond the surface to explore molecular mechanisms, competitive insights, and cutting-edge treatments. The formation of renal calculi is a fascinating interplay at the cellular level, starting with urine supersaturation and progressing to crystal nucleation and aggregation. Genetic predispositions play a significant role, with disorders like primary hyperoxalia, cystinuria, and Denne's disease highlighting specific gene defects that lead to stone formation. For instance, cystinuria involves defects in specific amino acid transporters, causing high levels of cystine to crystallize. The balance between urinary inhibitors like citrate and promoters like hyperoxalia dictates stone development. Current research is actively exploring novel therapeutic targets, including microbiome modulation and specific transporter interventions, aiming for more effective prevention and treatment strategies. This deeper understanding is crucial for personalized medicine approaches to urolithiasis. Advanced understanding of glomerular diseases reveals a complex landscape of podocytopathies, where damage to podocytes leads to massive proteinuria. Minimal change disease, FSGS, and membranous nephropathy each have distinct pathophysiological mechanisms, from T-cell-mediated injury to autoantibodies against specific podocyte receptors like PLA2R. Immune complex-mediated glomerulonephritis, such as IgA nephropathy, involves the deposition of antigen-antibody complexes, triggering inflammation. The complement system plays a pivotal role in mediating this injury, leading to cellular damage. Understanding these molecular and immunological pathways is critical for precise diagnosis and targeted therapies. Moving to renal failure management, CKD is meticulously staged based on GFR and albuminuria. Beyond nitrogenous wastes, kidneys fail to excrete a spectrum of uremic toxins, including middle molecules and protein-bound toxins, contributing to the broad systemic complications of ESRD. Dialysis principles, including diffusion, convection, and ultrafiltration, are precisely engineered to mimic kidney function. Adequacy of dialysis is rigorously measured using metrics like KTV to ensure effective waste removal. For critically ill patients, continuous renal replacement therapy, or CRRT, offers a gentler, more hemodynamically stable alternative to intermittent hemodialysis. Kidney transplantation, while life-saving, presents significant immunological challenges. Rejection, categorized as hyperacute, acute, or chronic, represents the recipient's immune system attacking the donor organ. Hyperacute rejection is an immediate, devastating response mediated by preformed antibodies, while acute rejection, often T-cell mediated, can typically be managed. Chronic rejection, a more gradual process, involves a complex interplay of immune and non-immune factors. The cornerstone of transplant success is rigorous immunosuppressive regimens, involving a delicate balance of drugs like calcineurin inhibitors, antiproliferative agents, and corticosteroids. These drugs, while essential, carry their own set of complications, including increased susceptibility to infections, malignancies, and metabolic disorders, underscoring the critical need for meticulous patient management. Genetic kidney disorders like polycystic kidney disease, or PKD, involve inherited defects leading to cyst formation. Autosomal dominant PKD, or ADPT, caused by mutations in PKD1 or PKD2 genes, is the most common inherited kidney disease, leading to progressive cyst growth and eventually ESRD. The cellular mechanisms involve abnormal epithelial cell proliferation and fluid secretion within renal tubules. Autosomal recessive PKD, or ARPT, is rarer and more severe, often presenting in infancy. Understanding these genetic underpinnings is vital for early diagnosis, genetic counseling, and the development of targeted therapies to slow disease progression. The impact chain of these disorders extends far beyond the kidneys. Uncontrolled hypertension and diabetes are leading causes of CKD, creating a vicious cycle where kidney disease exacerbates these conditions. The systemic complications of ESRD, from cardiovascular disease to anemia and bone disorders, highlight the kidney's central role in maintaining overall body homeostasis. Advancements in diagnostic techniques, including detailed urinalysis, sophisticated imaging, and kidney biopsy interpretation, are continuously refining our ability to precisely identify and classify these disorders. The future of renal replacement therapy is evolving rapidly, with ongoing research into bioartificial kidneys and xenotransplantation offering promising avenues to overcome organ shortages and improve long-term outcomes. This continuous innovation in nephrology aims not just to treat symptoms but to fundamentally alter the course of kidney diseases, offering hope for improved quality of life and survival for millions worldwide. Now, it's time for the ultimate challenge. These questions are designed to test your in-depth knowledge, critical thinking, and ability to synthesize complex information from a competitive perspective. Answer questions 1 through 5, applying all the advanced concepts we've covered. Let's continue with the remaining toughest questions, 6 through 10. These require a comprehensive grasp of molecular mechanisms, advanced diagnostic principles, and the intricate details of therapeutic strategies. Push your limits and demonstrate your mastery of excretory disorders. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of excretory products and their elimination disorders. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced molecular mechanisms, covering everything you need for your NEET preparation and beyond. Remember, mastering these complex topics is key to excelling in your exams and future medical career. For more such comprehensive and engaging content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning updates. Keep studying hard, and see you in the next session.